Hey everybody, Ethan here, and you're on my side of the room. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've done bass covers, I've done bass grooves, but thanks to the magic of YouTube, I'm going to do a collab with somebody, and they don't know I'm doing it, but I think they're kind of okay with it because of how we're collabing. So what happened was, I was on a cruise recently, and my MP3 player got glitchy and I couldn't use it. And so I was desperate to find some other way to listen to music. And thanks to the magic of international roaming being free in my cell phone plan, and I was in the Bahamas, I punched up, well, YouTube actually. And I was listening to mixes of music, and what I wanted was something bass heavy because reasons. And the thing is, if you punch in bass mix, you get a lot of EDM and techno in such a way that if I had that Behringer bass synth, which I don't want, but I'm just telling you, if you had one of those, then there you could make the stuff that they were playing in these mixes. So it didn't really help me out all that much in terms of like wanting to listen to bass style stuff. So I thought, well, what's a genre of music that's like really bass heavy? Reggae. So I punched up dub reggae, and there was a mix, and I'll link it in the description so it's not all in the abstract. But it was a compilation of reggae dub from like 75 to 82 or something. And my only exposure to dub reggae previously was Jah Wobble. And as to how authentic it was, I don't know. I mean, but listening to that official mix of dub reggae, it's like, well, it kind of sounds like the stuff he was doing in the 90s, so sure. So yeah, it's as one would expect. It's a subgrouping of reggae. I mean, reggae is not monolithic. It can seem like it is, but it isn't. Any more than the blues is monolithic. It's not either. But depending on what your exposure to the blues is, you might think it is. But there's different flavors and styles and stuff. So checking out reggae. I couldn't bring my bass with me on the cruise, but it made me like desperate to get my hands back on the bass when I got home because of all that stuff I heard. And not that my goal is to be a reggae bass player, but I think I've always got the antenna up for, well, bass lines and grooves that can come in handy down the line. Like, especially if you're playing music with other people and you can't agree on what to play and no one knows any of the same songs, so eventually you desperately just try to make something up. And if someone was to play something reggae sounding, well, then what's about to happen, it will kind of help you out with a possible thing to do. So what I would normally do is, without comment, I would just make a reggae-inspired groove and put it up there, and it would be like 2 minutes long and whatever. But I'm just talking about a little bit of preamble because, one, to turn you on to dub reggae if you've never heard it before, and then two, to give credit where it's due to the video I'm about to collab with. So I was looking for reggae stuff on YouTube, this time with the intent of playing along to it and making up original bass lines. And I found somebody who made a 3-minute reggae loop. Now, I did this on my lunch today, and it's a one-take wonder. So there is going to be a screw-up at least once in it. It is what it is. I normally wouldn't post it, but in this instance, I'm just going to let it rip. Because I think there's enough solid material there to just work with. And it's just a suggestion. So if you want to screw around with reggae, or if you want to improve on what I did, you can go follow the link in the description to the original video, and you can make your own bass line up to it. What I really like about this is the way that this guy put up his guitar part, the way he nods along to the screen. You feel like I'm facing the screen playing with him when I'm doing it, like not for this video, but when I was doing it when I discovered the video. and you feel like you're in a jam session together because he's like nodding at you, and like if you're playing stuff along, he's like, yeah, that's working, like he knows. But it's such a cool experience, and I wanted to pass that on to you guys, that if you're looking for something to play along to, and if reggae's your thing, great, and if it isn't, well, I mean, give it a try, and see what you can come up with. You can either copy off what I did, and all I was doing was just following what he was doing on the guitar and then zhuzhing it up. The thing with reggae, that's the thing. It's not my chosen genre, so I can't speak super intelligently to it. Dub reggae being what it is, it's not hugely into like long linear bass lines. It tends to be like a stab of this and a stab of that, and then there's a lot of air. So I'm being kind of chattier on the bass with what I'm doing than probably what's called for, but I think appropriately with what he's playing, it works between his guitar looping and my bass playing. Enough that when I had plugged in the amp the first time and I was just screwing around playing along with him, I thought he had a bass track. I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. I thought it was just guitar only, and I didn't realize it was me playing appropriately along to him, and it sounded right. Like, oh, well then I'm going to make a video about this. So here we go. Here's our collab, and then I'll be back after this is done to wrap it up. Okay, so to give credit where it's due, the guitar player and whose video I was playing along with, his name is Rasheed McCallum. And again, I'm linking it in the description so you can go get it yourself. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Definitely gave me some ideas to noodle around with. And the thing that's cool, I'm not plugged in the amp right now, so I'm not going to really go too deep into this. But just to kind of walk through, especially for like ultra beginners, because I don't know who's watching and what skill level you're at, and I didn't mark this as any kind of skill level. Just following what he's doing. He's doing E on the A string, down to D, down to C, to B. And so if you just played that, it would be passable. It wouldn't be great, but it would be passable. And I think enough so that, especially with his guitar playing and your root note bass playing, I think someone could walk in the room and agree you're playing reggae bass. But if you can zhuzh it up with some more stuff, and I'm not going to really give suggestions as to what to do, as you already saw what I did, but maybe you have other ideas. Maybe you would be like, no, I would do it this way. Well, go for it. I mean, that's the joy of this. This guy's loop is there for you to just keep looping over and over. And it looks like people have been doing that. And I'm helping contribute to the hit count. So anyway, I hope this was useful. I hope that it turned you on to something that you enjoy playing along to as much as I did. Just the same, keep learning, keep playing, and I will catch you in the next video.